Friends, so nice to see you. So nice to be seen. We had a really amazing interview with Kelby Smith this afternoon. I don't know if you haven't seen it. I recommend you play it back. Just he had some amazing information to share about the Republic and sovereignty and information. And also he gave us a website. If you want to get his free book, you can download it for free on let me just put that up since I have it. They don't put this in order. That's weird. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, if you want to get the free book, you can join hisadvocates.org. Let me just see if I could slow that down. Yeah, and or just you should watch the video as well. But I think his information is He's actually astonishing. He's actually the treasurer of the Department of Treasury in the Republic. So he knows a lot what's going on. We're clearly in a huge transition state, to put it mildly. We're feeling it personally as well. What does it mean exactly? I don't, I'm kind of feeling embarrassed because we found out through a notice on the channel that my land is up for auction. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show right now. So I called the title agency. I said, what are you doing? Nobody ever told me anything. You just put it up for auction. They're like, well, we sent you an email. I didn't see the email. It doesn't matter. But at any rate, thank God we caught it in time. So we're kind of under the gun as far as that goes. I really don't want to lose the land. I put a lot of work into it. But Kelby was helpful about that. He said you could put a mechanics lien, but the people in the title a place say that it's too late to put a mechanics lien. It would be called a junior lien. I mean, they have all this mumbo jumbo things to make sure they can steal your land if they want to. So this is kind of what we're up against. I told the title company, now that I'm hearing about it, let's see if we can figure out some kind of a solution to this thing. So I've been telling people all this time, just forget about your mortgage, don't pay it. And here I am at the end. I'm very embarrassed, and I feel bad that I told this to people, but we just couldn't keep paying the mortgage. It was too expensive for us, and we ran out of capital. So now we'll just have to figure out. And I really believe that things will work out for us, but I'm sorry if I've caused any harm amongst the members of the community by saying this. I did the same thing in New York. I seem to get no slack from the mortgage company, but out here in Arizona, they have the powers that are in power right now seem to have a lot of leverage and a lot of rules and a lot of regulations in order to steal your land. So that's what I'm up against now. I'm sure that I'll find a solution. I'm not scared. But at the same time, hey, Jimmy John. Yeah, at the same time, I want to apologize to members of the community for being being out there and just saying, don't pay your mortgage, don't pay your taxes. I still don't pay my taxes. I don't pay my income taxes, but now they're telling me I owe property taxes, which I know are illegal. I just don't know. I have a month before they auction off the land, so I have some time to figure out my way through it, and I'm sure that I will. I don't feel that scared. I feel the pull. I understand where the matrix wants to bring me, but I'm still feeling very positive that I can work this out. Now, and I'm sure a lot of you have been in this situation, although if you still have your silver, you're in a good position. I had to use my silver to pay for the land for the first part of this experience. And I ran out of silver. So now I have to rely on XRP. I'm hoping that XRP will go up, but I've been hoping for XRP to go up for at least 5 years now. I've been expecting it to go up. There are signs, many signs on the internet, on X, that XRP could skyrocket really soon. Ripple is getting permission to be a major bank on April 1st. President Trump has said April 2nd, a lot of things will be going down. I just saw a presentation by Big Daddy, I believe, in Canada or Philippines, and he says that Jasara is being activated as of April 1st. How this will all play out, I don't know. Remember, I left New York with thinking that I was going to get all this money. I was going to have XRP money. I was going to have my lawsuit against the Department of Education, and we've gotten this far. So I feel like everything will work out in a wondrous way. I'm not scared, but I just want to share that and honestly say that I'm sorry if I've had any effect on people that are in a similar situation and decided not to pay their mortgage. So I am having to deal with these forces. Let's hope. In my case, I'm hoping that XRP will go to the moon and I'll just pay off the rest of the mortgage. But I'm sure that some kind of solution will be made. I believe in goodness. I believe that things work out for the best. It's a belief. At any rate, I think Kelby's presentation today was magnificent, and you should probably get his book, His Advocates, hisadvocates.org. Go on that website and you can get a free book, and that should help explain a lot of these things. Let's leave this. Sorry to hear this for you. That's why the other night I told you that my friends had their bank accounts emptied by the IRS. The bad guys still have some power. Yeah, apparently they do, and we have to deal with it. However, I do think this. I think that it's not enough. I mean, it is enough in an overall sense to have the right thought process, the right kavana. That's the Hebrew word for it. The right feeling, the right essence, the right intention. However, it could be, and I think that's why Kelby Smith came into my reality, is that we're not helpless. We can fight back against these criminals and that may be a new era for this channel and this thought stream, is that we've tried manifesting this it, through just good intentions. So now we have to do the action, and action for me is a very big part of the manifestation process. So I'm just taking action. I called the title company. I said, let's make a deal. They told me, they still had my address from New York. I sent them my new address. I mean, I'm taking action, and I think that the creator supports those of us who act and do things and try to battle these evil doers. Now, is the whole system about to be cracked? According to it's possible. I know 107 said April 1st. He said he didn't say what year. President Trump said April 2nd because he didn't want anything to happen on April Fool's Day. They're saying now that the Clarity Act will not be passed until the middle of April. So that's another factor. But in the background of all of this, XRP and the ISO 200 coins, and I have a post that shows a lot of the coins, and it's a little different from what they were posting beforehand. So I want to share this as well. But there's a lot of big money on XRP coming and overturning the fiat debt note system. So that could be in the works in the next couple of days. At any rate, it's very much similar to the idea of Passover, in that Passover starts at midnight on the 1st of April, really the beginning of the 2nd of April, where Trump says the transformation will take place. Will it happen on this day? I don't know. I think the internal transformation is mostly in process. And I'm also seeing and kind of feeling the value or the truth in the idea that there are a lot of non-character players out there, possibly. There are a lot of soulless beings in the universe that are involved in this matrix and are, I spoke to a couple today when I called the title company, and they were generally pretty nice. I said, how can you do this? And they were totally unsympathetic, but they could very well be soulless beings that don't really appreciate the depths of the madness. I don't know. Let's see if I can read some of your comments. I tried 6-7 times to log into Kelly's book. It would take a lot. Any ideas? I don't know. I logged in. It took me 2 tries, but you have to join first before you can get the free book. So it's asked you for a password. If you haven't joined, you won't be able to put in a password and get in. So you have to press join first and then fill in and create a password, and then you can get the free book. So that could be part of the problem. You were able to get in. I tried to okay, free yourself from the enslavement European banksters. Yeah, we're all on that page. Ellie, put up a donation link to buy coffee. I'll donate to you. Well, I really have a donation page, and that's Daniela's. Let me just put that in while we're at it. Let's see if I can find that. You could. What does it say on it? What? I'm just trying to find the post. I found your Instagram post, but we have a post for, let's see. I'm just trying to find your post. Instagram, LifeWave, Daniela. I don't think I would have erased it. Okay, so LifeWave free books. I don't have your PayPal address. Hold on. Okay, so Daniela, WW, LifeWave, Instagram, Republic, LifeWave. Okay, so we'll get that. We'll figure that out. PayPal. Anyway, the way you could really, if you buy the LifeWave product, that's really the best way to help us. You found it? Okay, so let's put that up just for. Okay, go ahead, baby.
It's just under Danielle Chernesky.
Daniela?
Danielle Chernesky.
Danielle. At PayPal?
No, it's just Danielle Chernesky.
That's it?
Yeah, for PayPal.
For PayPal. Okay, so let me find that. I maybe I wasn't looking in the right place. Let's see if it's up here. Okay, yeah, sorry about this. Okay, anyway, we'll get that together. I think it's listed somewhere, but it's Danielle Chernesky at PayPal. I guess I don't know. We'll have to get the actual address. But
That is the real address.
what? That is the real
It's
address.
just
Is it
Danielle
one word?
Chernesky. Yes.
Okay, so let me
There's
just
no PayPal in it. It's just Danielle
just
Chernesky
okay, Danielle
on
Chernesky.
PayPal.
Okay. So let me put that on. It should be up here. I don't know why it's not here. Okay, so let me just add that. Was it one word?
Yeah, Danielle Chernesky.
Nesky, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you want to donate to her, Danielle Chernesky at PayPal, if you wanted to donate, but it's really not necessary. I would much prefer that people buy the LifeWave product. I think it's because it's something that's really important for your health, and this way we don't feel that we're taking. I think that it's called the bread of shame. In other words, just like to get a donation just for no reason is not always. It's hard. I'd rather be able to give you something. I think these patches are just amazing. I'm using, by the way, the carnosine patch on my back, and it seems to be keeping my back pain in check. I did some more framing on the house today. I'm hoping I get to keep the house so that I can continue with my project here. I love what I'm doing here, and I expect that we'll find a way. Maybe XRP will go to the moon, and then it'll be a no-brainer. I'll just pay off the mortgage, and that's it. I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to work out. At any rate, yeah, we really support. We really appreciate your support with the LifeWave patches. We like to order the what do they call it? What is the patch with the X49, X39?
Performance.
The performance package, which is discounted, so you get X39 and X49 for a month's supply, and or the Y age patches, where you get 3 patches for 150, carnosine, glutathione, and Eon, which is a tremendous health advantage. Carnosine, glutathione, right? Glutathione is a great way to get rid of the nanoparticles and the poisons that they've been putting into our system. It's such a strange world right now. This just, it sort of adds to the feeling of strangeness, but it's not. I don't feel overwhelmed by this. Like an honors suggestion, I'll sign up for LifeWave. Yeah, I appreciate it, because this way we both get something for it, and I don't feel like I had some tremendous issues with there was a person who gave me some money, and then she was just like, I want my money back, and you took my money. I'm like, well, you gave me your money, and I don't want to be in that situation ever again. So if you want to donate to Daniela at her PayPal, that's where you could do it. But really, the LifeWave patches is how we support ourselves, and I'm sure we can work out a deal with the mortgage company. I just stopped paying my mortgage like about 2 years ago, and so now I have to make it up. I have to figure out what to do next, and it's an issue that I feel I can handle. I have some XRP, and I'm waiting for it's very down now, so it would be a shame for me to have to cash it in now. But I had to cash in the silver before it really went to a higher number, and it's okay because I have the land. But then to lose whatever. Anyway, I believe that it's all for the good, and this is all coming to a good thing. I'm just embarrassed that I've been telling people we can manifest this, and so we can still manifest this, and I believe I'm going to manifest a way to keep my property but it requires action. And I think that was the conclusion that I came to with Kelby, with understanding Kelby, is that it's one thing to just say, it's outrageous what they're doing, and we've been victimized, but on the other hand, we're not helpless, and we can certainly pick up the phone. As much as I hate the idea of having to engage with the matrix, we can pick up the phone and do the action to get these things resolved. Of course, we're all hoping that the bad guys go away, and April 2nd would be a great time. Today would be a great time. 5 years ago would have been a great time. 3 years ago, we've had to put up with years and years of scratching, just getting by. I mean, building a house with no money, this kind of thing. So if we have to go through a couple more years, I mean, that would not be pleasant, but we will do it. We will do whatever it takes to survive and thrive in this environment. It would be really nice, though, if the economy were to completely turn and XRP go to the moon and all currency. It seems like everything is positioned in that direction. Every time I turn on X, I'm hearing about another huge bank or investment company that has heavily invested in XRP. Bitcoin seems to be going down now. It's if you look at reality, whatever the reality, meaning the functionality of XRP right now, it's being used by all the banks. Ripple is about to become a bank themselves. Everything it seems to be set up for a launching now. So it could be for me that this is kind of a good thing, and that I didn't pay my mortgage for a while, and we were able to survive and do some things that we couldn't have done if we were paying the mortgage, like buy a bunch of wood and get a well installed. All these things just happened in a very spiritual, effortless way. So I expect that it will happen. It'll continue to happen in this way, in a miraculous way in the future, and it will take care of itself, and then we'll feel secure that we this is our land, and we have the deed now. And now that I've heard Kelby's thing, I understand that you have to. I'll clarify it more, but basically saying it has to be was it in a foundation? Was that, I forget exactly, but in order to own your property outright, they use all kinds of trickery and what they call the color of law language to keep you from really owning it. Just like with the birth certificate, you become a non-alive citizen of, they basically own you. I mean, this is how sick this whole system is. Anyway, I was embarrassed to bring you this news, and I if I've hurt anyone in this process, I do apologize. I hope I can make it up to you in some way, but I'm working through this myself. I still maintain that my belief will get me through this, and we will just. However, we are backing up the belief with action, and I think that's why Kelby came into our view, into our lives, in order for us to be able to understand what the action steps really are. And it's not so obvious. I was talking to the title company. I says, well, when do I get the deed? And they're saying they'll give me the deed when it is all paid for. We have to understand what the deed is it whatever. Anyway, it's complicated, but I'm going to spend, yes, a foundation. Yeah, that's right. So it has to be a foundation. Good night, everyone. Work later tonight and need some rest. Okay, Sandra, get some good sleep. I can honor your suggestion. I'll sign up for the Lifeway. We'll thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I pray daily wisdom and discernment. Yes, indeed. But remember that Roseanne said the key, the fundamental aspect of a real human is having the ability to change. So in the future, we may be more practical as a community, and we may find actual ways like this becoming a foundation so that you can own your house and not have to deal with these kinds of issues. Change is good. All right, let's look at a couple things online that seem to be exciting, seem to be interesting. Now I can't scroll on this now. Re-entry. Okay, so hold on a sec. Stop sharing. Everything, my computer seems to be malfunctioning a bit. I don't know why. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to this re-entry. No, that's not what I wanted. So we go to this re-entry. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back. Okay, so we had Big Daddy saying that he's saying much watch questions and answers. He's saying that everything is about to happen on April 1st and that Jasara has been activated. It's a very interesting post. I'm not going to play it, but I recommend it. I have it posted on my X channel. Let me enlarge this a bit. The show is about to start. We're back. Okay, drag to move. That's interesting and beautiful. Ripple's transition to a bank on April 1st means that the preparatory phase is over. They already have the technology, XRPL, on-demand liquidity, XRP, XRP USD, XLUSD, institutional connectivity, Hidden Road, DTCC, and now the highest level status is the world's most stringent in this world's most stringent county, and that is that Ripple is becoming a bank. Ripple on the verge of historic victory. On April 1st, OCC amendments are final key to unlocking the Ripple National Trust Bank, and direct Fed integration is in this. It XRP becomes the standard for global banking. That's on April 1st. Now, will the token take off? It makes sense that it would. Will it actually? I don't know. Let me just take this off. Okay, Anons when this is all over. I mean, this is a breathtaking end. You know, it's all guns blazing. The greatest of all time, history in the making. This is a woman taking down the EU flag in France, I think it is. France has had enough of this globalization. This was a really interesting little clip that I want to play, but look at this. XRP will explode overnight. Grayscale drops a huge warning on Ripple XRP. Grayscale's head of research just issued a major warning saying a massive repricing of Ripple XRP could happen the moment the Clarity Act is passed. Well, the Clarity Act is not going to be passed for 2 weeks, according to this, but they're saying that, and they own 500 million XRP. This is interesting. What are you really scrolling? I want to share this because I think this really pertains to us in this community. Let's see if I can go back to this and do the show more. Right. Okay. So let's go back. Let's go back to this. I think this is an important post. Okay. So it says the reality of X behavior. X is not a neutral mirror of humanity. It is an algorithmically amplified arena of attention where emotion, especially negative emotion, spreads faster than truth. So a key question is what gets produced and what gets amplified? Estimated traffic distribution based on multiple large-scale social media behavior studies, sentiment analysis, engagement metrics, virality patterns, negative, low truth content, 65 to 80%. Outrage, attacks, tribalism, monetize controversy, engagement farming, misinformation or partial truths, emotional venting, bitching, division-based narratives. Why so high? Negative content travels faster, psychological bias, algorithms reward engagement, not truth. Conflicts keep users scrolling. Okay, so that's very interesting in my opinion, because that would explain why, for example, I believe that our platform does not get the kind of hits that you would think so. And Charlie Freak was saying the same thing. Why is it that his channel doesn't get hundreds of millions of views? Like, I always use the example Joe Rogan, but I'm sure there are other more, there are other examples that are more, clearly these negative type people. Why so high? Negative? Yeah. Okay. So neutral, memes, fillers, reposts, surface level commentary, non-transformational content gets 10, 20% of the traffic on X. Now here's us. Positive, awakening, truth seeking, 5 to 15%. Genuine curiosity, wisdom sharing, personal growth, spiritual awakening, thoughtful discourse, signal over noise, the deeper truth, Socratic levels. Let's test this. If truth were dominant, would confusion be this widespread? If wisdom were viral, would division be this profitable? If awakening were easy, would humility be so rare? The answer reveals itself. The paradox we're sensing. Here's the key distinction most people miss. Truth is not scarce. Attention to truth is. That's why I'm constantly complimenting you guys. The 5 to 15% is not small because truth is weak. It's small because truth requires humility over ego, patience over reaction, discernment over impulse. And those don't trend. The algorithm versus the soul. The algorithm rewards reaction. Truth requires reflection. The algorithm amplifies conflict. Wisdom grows through alignment instead of asking what percentage is good versus bad. Let's ask, what percentage am I choosing to engage with, amplify, and become? Because on X, you don't just consume the feed, you train it. First principle, noise multiplies itself. Truth must be chosen. This is such an interesting post. I don't know if you guys share my excitement with this, but it is noise over truth. But the wondrous element of X is that you can train the algorithm to be sympathetic to your viewpoint. So I myself, whenever I see Israel bashing, for example, there are a lot of patriots that are bashing Israel. I just block them. I don't want to deal with that. I don't, it's like Iranian bashing. I mean, why would people bash the people of Iran? Why would people bash the people anywhere? It doesn't make sense. What's bashable is the deep state within these governments. That's worth bashing. But I don't subscribe to people who are emotional and negative. I remove it from my feed. So consequently, my feed reflects my own outlook. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. We're not just being spoon fed garbage by Walter Cronkite. Like the CIA feeds Walter Cronkite, and then we learn about the real truth of the Vietnam War. It's this way. No, it's a bunch of drug smuggling. Drug smuggling. That the government is the biggest drug smuggler, and that's what Trump is attacking governments on the government level, on the deep state level within each territory. So he wasn't attacking the people of Venezuela. He was taking out the deep state that was oppressing the people. Same in Iran. People don't understand. Now, the hordes, which are these No Kings rally, and they were heavily financed, according to my research. These people are not capable, just like Rush used to say, they're not capable of intellectual discourse. They are solely rooted in emotional reaction. So you can't even expect, and it could very well be that most of these beings are not even human. They may not have real souls, or they could be hybridized with reptilians, and so they're vicious pedophiles. I was talking to a friend of mine today about why all these pedophiles, and the only answer that we can come up with is that there was a reptilian campaign on this planet to interbreed. And that's what in the Garden of Eden, what are they talking about? They're talking about a genetic experiment between the reptilians using humans to combine with, that the reptile basically raped Eve, or it was a genetic experiment to mix the reptilian DNA with human DNA, and hence the offspring of Adam, Cain, did not look like Abel. I don't know if he had scales, but this is, to me, a very vibrant explanation of where we're holding. So we have hybrid, pedophile, cannibal beings. We have these either clones or NCPs, these soulless characters that are just incapable of ascending past the first level of understanding, which is just, I just do what I'm told. I don't question anything. Like, I spoke to this guy on the plane. I said, I got fired because I didn't want to get the vaccine. He said, I did just the opposite. I knew they were going to fire him if I didn't get the vaccine, so I got the vaccine. I'm like, and it made perfect sense to him. It was just like, that's what I had to do, and I did it. But it doesn't make sense to me. Why would I basically kill my soul to keep a job? That's how I see it. Anyway, No King's process people are a bunch of weirdo victim minds. I think it's more than that, though. I think these are soulless beings that are incapable. They're kind of like, I think of the movie The Return of the Body Snatchers that I saw in high school. This kind of like shrieking kind of being. And I think Return of the Body Snatchers was really a predictive programming example of where we were heading, and now where we have come to. One day XRP will be back big. Yeah, but the question is, when will I be able to save my farm from, I think so. I just believe so. I just know the way things unravel for me. And just the fact that Kelby Smith came into my life, it's all going to work out. at least I have that attitude. Now, if I had the attitude, oh my God, I'm losing my land, Danielle and I are going to be out on the street, then it's quite possible that that could manifest. However, I'm completely confident, and I made a calculated decision, I guess, a couple of years ago. Even though I don't feel like I made it, I felt like it was made in the context of what I call divine providence, which is that I do the next thing that seems to make sense to me. And at the time, it made sense because we could not have sustained paying that kind of a mortgage price at that time. But since then, now we have a well, we have a truck, we have, we have a garden, we could I could put together a chicken area probably for a couple $100. I mean, if even that, we have all the roots here that to make it work for us. So it's not even theoretical. It's not like we're going to buy this land, we're going to make it work, and we don't know what we're up against. We've been here for a year and a half, if not more. We've been here for a while, and we've made it work for us, and we will continue to make it work. We having obstacles, having difficulties is a no-brainer. Now, what would have happened if the person who alerted me on on live said your house, your land is up for auction? I was like, what? They didn't even contact me. I didn't. Apparently there was some kind of email. I didn't see it, but I chose to ignore it, whatever it was. However, that's just where we are. And will XRP go to the moon in time? I don't know, but I just believe that everything is going to work out. I'm sure it will. I can't even imagine it not working out. The hybridization of humans with reptilians and some other stuff going on in the dumbs, right? It's still going on since the beginning. That is 100%. So this is a huge, a huge. I can't think of the word, but a kind of a precipice, kind of we're at a huge turning point in terms of consciousness, where we're realizing that when Q says, nothing is when people say everything is a lie, you think, well, okay, my job was a lie, the banking system was a lie, then we found out the medical profession was a lie, the legal profession was a lie, and now we're finding out the whole thing is a lie. The religions lied to us, everything is a lie, but it's deeper than that. That's just the first level. The real understanding of what we're dealing with here is in the dumbs. They've created this underground world, these reptilian hybrids, the clones that we are up against. There was a figure from Sirius B, who I subscribe to on X. I really like his posts. And he said something to the effect that there are 5,555 non-character players to every one human. I mean, think of it. Think of this channel. Think of the kind of information, the quality of truth that we share on this channel. How many people are here? How many people are here right now? Let me get this. Let me see if I can brighten it up. 159 people. There are billions of people on the planet. Are we sharing emotional thing of what's really going on with Hillary right now? No, but if we were doing that, we would have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of more interaction, of more hits. So be proud of yourself. Be proud that you're amongst this small handful of truth-seeking human beings with real DNA and real souls. But this is what we're finding out, what we are up against. It's not just like there's this evil, it's the Illuminati. I mean, it is that, but it goes so much deeper. This is biblical. This is a biblical experience that we are going through. And it's the eve. It's like 2 days away from Passover, which is, according to biblical sources, that's when the Yidden left slavery. Remember, only 20% actually left. most of them were on different X channels. They were still trying. They were still upset because Hillary hadn't been publicly executed yet. They were on a different channel. Only 20% of the people, after all that Moses did, 10 plagues, totally obliterated Egypt, and still only 20% went. We are in a very similar situation now. Trump has devastated the deep state. This is worse than 10 plagues. He's totally annihilated their money source. I believe he's taken back the gold. I believe he's arrested hordes of people, and they're on the verge of arresting a lot more. According to Big Daddy, he feels like April 1st, April 2nd, that the military is just going to take over the red states. Is it red? Are the Democrats red states? Yeah, they're the red. No, the blue. That they're going to take over the blue states. I get. I don't. I like. I don't have the ability to think in like like the way computers think, yes or no, like those kinds of things. Like I think I have a more of a quantum way of looking at things. In a quantum way of looking at reality, you all possibilities exist. And will the possibility of XRP going to the moon April 1st, 2 days from now, or in 2 weeks, I don't know. And frankly, I do not pin emotional baggage behind such an event occurring. It's just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'll find some other way to work through this. I'm convinced. So yeah, I think we're okay. So let's go back to the thought stream for a moment. All right, so this was a brilliant piece about X. Now, here's another very interesting. Trump just declared total war on the IRS, a plan to repeal income tax with tariffs and restore America's pre-1913 prosperity. The IRS is cooked. This is a big deal. This is also a very big deal. How to know you're eating real meat. They're not going to label it synthetic. They use softer words that sound natural. The words are cell cultured and cultivated meat. Those are the phrases they use: cell cultured or cultivated meat. Lock up your crypto, will be fine. XRP, ZERPs up, trophy, yellow smiling face. Okay, whatever. Information. Keep up your great information to the people. Thank you so much, Quincy Welch. I really wish Trump would banish the British Academy Register Bar. I'm sure that behind the scenes that's been done. It's just we don't know about it, and it's not the non-character players, the reptilian pedophilic hordes are still have an element of control. They are being broken piece by piece. Stay away from lab grown meat, please. But he said it's lab grown or cell tissue, that kind of language. Do not buy that meat. The banks to engage. Okay, so breaking: Ripple isn't just a crypto company anymore. They're a federally chartered U.S. bank. So OCC has just dropped the hammer. April 1st, 2026, all restrictions lifted. Ripple can now custody assets at the federal level. Okay, that's a big deal in my opinion. All right, but I want to go back and just, yeah, again, with the lab grown meat, I think that's very important. Stay away. And then I want to go to this clip. Now, is this 100% accurate? I don't know. But let's go through this together. Worse than all this living a lie, we've been systematically brainwashed to forget all the gifts and blessings that were given by the Almighty. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. We have the goods. We should not be frightened. We are not being, driven into submission by the matrix. That's not what I feel. That the godly matrix that I live in was kind enough to let me know, hey man, you better get your act together, because in May they're going to auction off your land. I mean, I would not have heard of it if somebody had not posted that publicly. Danielle is a little upset that they didn't just send us an email privately, but okay, my life is I live a public life. I'm not embarrassed. I think this is part of the process. No fear. Exactly right. I'm not afraid. I mean, I'm a little bit afraid. I'm afraid enough to actually deal with the matrix. I'm not just going, okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to no, I'm dealing with it. I'm taking the action. I'm going to work through it. And no fear. Yeah, no fear that's really 100. That's really the bottom line. We will survive. We will thrive. We will get through it. Chapter 11 will stop it if a lawyer can't do anything. Right. I've heard that too. I think Shelby said that. Chapter 11 will stop it. Got a lawyer who can't do anything going through it. Yeah. Lock up your crypto and you will be fine. Yeah. Okay. So we'll work through it. But I really wish it would banish yeah, it's going to go away. They're all in surrender. You have to be legally served. Right, but they're saying I was legally served. They sent me an email. I didn't see it, but maybe. But how do I defend myself? I don't know. I'll find these things out. I mean, Kelby could be right. I need to be legally served, but they're saying no. We don't have to serve you. I mean, I don't know. Listen, Arizona cheated outrageously at the elections. These people don't listen. They're not interested in what's in right or wrong. What is this? The hybrids of human was going on other stuff. Yeah, and the dumbs. It continues to this day. We are the overcomers, right? We will overcome this. I want to just show you this post because I think it's interesting, and then we'll maybe call it a day. I'm surprised that I came out feeling positive from this. I was a little bit embarrassed to fess up, but I didn't want to be dishonest. I want to be honest about what's going on. Let's go back to here and then let's see if we can, yeah, enlarge this. Okay. So now I'm going to go to this post because I think this is interesting. Okay. This is showing us, wait, let me go back to here. Okay. This is showing us the Made in America crypto leaders. So they're saying XRP, they're saying Solano, and gosh, I can't really read this. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Right. Cardano. Then they have XLM on the second line. They have Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and a few other. But this is a very interesting assessment, and I want to read a little bit of this commentary. They're saying, how many of these Made in America crypto projects can you actually explain? Not the ticker, the function. Because XRP leads this list for a reason, and the rest of it is worth understanding too. America didn't just adopt crypto, it built the infrastructure for most of it. XRP, cross border payments, the biggest addressable market in blockchain. Ripple's institutional stack is deeper than any other project on this list. DTCC, BNY Mellon, central bank pilots, 2.5 trillion payments pipeline. Solano, high speed dApps, the performance chain developers flock to. ADA, Cardano, secure smart contracts built on academic research. XLM, remittance connects the unbanked to the financial system through MoneyGram and PayPal. Algorand, asset tokenization with Visa integration. HBAR, enterprise DLT, trusted by Google, IBM, and the Reserve Bank of Australia. MoneyLink, I'm sorry, Link. Link is I think it's just Link. Oracle feeds that connect every blockchain to real world data. Ondo, tokenized securities, live on XRPL, partnered with Franklin Templeton. Render, decentralized GPU power for AI and visual computing. AVAX, custom blockchain environments for institutional fund managers. Let's see. Decentralized GPU power for AI and visual computing. Render, AVAX, custom blockchain environments for institutional fund managers, GRT blockchain index, UNI, decentralized token swapping, AAVE, Aave, crypto lending, comp, interest rate markers, Phil, I think that's decentralized storage. That's Phil is Filecoin, uh, AKT, compute, wireless networks are HNT, and Theta is video streaming. Each one a different lane, each one a different problem. At the top, XRP, because when governments and institutions need to move money across borders and seconds, the infrastructure is already built. XRP leads them all, and the rest of America's crypto economy is building right behind it. So this is Made in America crypto leaders. Very interesting list. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining me and for understanding. Trusted by Google, right? Who trusts Google? Exactly. We love you. Thank you so much for your contribution. Been here since the beginning. Thank you, James Star Cedium. And yeah, just thanks for being here. Thanks for being the 5 to 15% on X that really are interested in non-emotional, non-negative, positive things. This is still, in my mind, this is all good. And the fact that it was brought to my attention in a miraculous way. I could have found out about this on May 5th when they auctioned off my property and the police were already up here, doing whatever. I found it out. I have a month to deal with this. This is glorious. I'm sure everything. Listen, my life has been like this for the last 30 years. Let's say 30 years. I've gone from fire to frying pan, in and out. 25 years or 20 years in the Department of Education, where they wanted to fire me every day. And then I'd be like, okay, they got this. It's all over for me. I'm going to lose my job. Everything is going to fall apart. I have a little kid at home, this kind of thing. And a week would go by, 2 weeks would go by. Once I had a dream. The Rebbe came in my dream and he said, the Rebbe's voice is sweet. They had me up against the rails. And then all of a sudden, something would happen. Somebody would get fired. Somebody would get repositioned. All these miracles, week after week after week, year after year. I just remember all these times where I just felt, okay, they got me this time. There's no way I can come back from this one. And every time something would take place that was miraculous. I remember one time, for example, that I had all, what do they call it? Terrible ratings as a teacher on whatever it was, whatever they deemed me. It was a horrible school. I was at a horrible school. And the guy was like, he like sort of made a pass at me, like saying like, we could be, and I was like, it was horrible. But he had been given me all U ratings, which means unsatisfactory, whatever it was. I was a total reject in his mind, and he was the only one evaluating me. And it was a done deal that I was going to lose my job. And then at the last minute, like literally like the last day, I got reassigned to another school just out of nowhere. Like, my time was up there. It was, but this kept happening to me. So I'm not worried. Just trust that we're leaving Mitzrayim. We're leaving the matrix. We're heading for the promised land. I'm going to play the, everyone in chat. Please, let's get a collective prayer. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to get it through. We're going to get through this. You'll see. And this is good for the community because you'll see me, you'll see you in me. Like, we're all facing this kind of situation together, but you'll see how there must be a reason why I have this channel and you're on this channel, and that we have this interaction, and that this is happening to me. It's not just, I don't believe that God punishes anyone. I believe that God gets your attention and he kind of like helps you understand that you have more power than you realize, and that you're okay. It's going to work out. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do this thing because it's a little more gentle than leaving the matrix. Let's do new morning. It's a new morning, man, and we're heading towards freedom. Nothing can stop what's coming. This is biblical. This is happening right around Passover and Easter. I mean, I don't want to discount Easter, but this is biblical. So we're coming to the promised land. I really should play the Matrix, right? Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. Let's do the new morning because I'm a little insecure about all this.
Waking up on the front porch, Sunday at dawn. The night was hotter than hell and forever long. I can see the first light breaking through the trees. I feel the changes in the cool breeze of freedom. Freedom. And it's a new morning. It's a new morning. We never saw it coming, hiding in plain sight. Banksters taking power, stealing our lives. They were looking to bury us in debt, shame and fear. But our roots grew stronger as we reached into the air with freedom. Freedom. And it's a new morning. It's a new with each day we're rising up in this world with the power of love, with the power of peace, the power of joy, the power of truth, and the power of It's a new morning. It's a new morning. It's a new
Yeah, so just keep believing in yourself, keep your thoughts positive, be that 5 to 15% on X. Isn't that an amazing? Most people just are clueless. They're so into cause and effect, being emotional. I used to love Rush. Rush is like, they can't, you don't even try. Don't even try to talk to these people. But now we're finding out they're either reptilian hybrids or they're soulless beings. You guys are humans, so just protect yourself. Just be good to yourself, and may the force be with you. May you realize that we are the force. We are the force. And these are lessons, right? The Matrix is trying to tell you to pull back because we're so close. We're going to be fine. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. So yeah, we got this. So it's an ongoing thing, and we'll go through this together, but I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure everyone is facing some kind of experience like this in their lives. So we're going to get through it, guys. So may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. May source be with you. May you realize you are the creative source itself. And let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.